oh, this guy's a bad guy. And so anything that's against this guy is good, and we'll keep sending weapons and
I just turned this back on.
instigating.
That's okay.
Yeah, that's okay. We'll just keep sending weapons and instigating and fomenting
It's
wars.
ridiculous.
This guy is a bad guy,
Yeah.
so let's have these people get chewed, get torn to shreds for whatever we're trying to do. Like, it's insane. It's insane, and like, people are so I think that's one of the things, like, in the election that really surprised a lot of people, is because, like, they sold the pro-war stuff a certain way. Like, they sold the pro-war stuff like you were not a virtuous human being if you did not support, sending arms to this particular country, because the other guy is the most horrible guy on the face of the earth. So now it's like, oh, okay, well, I can't express publicly that I don't want to send any more money to these people. So I'm just gonna express it in the voting booth, because you guys have propagandized it such that anybody who's against fomenting this ridiculous war against that these people cannot win, anybody who articulates that in public is a bad person. So that's one of the reasons why people, a guy like Trump gets elected, and people don't understand why. It's because, okay, I'm not gonna say it out loud, then fine, because I saw how you treated people who did say it out loud. So I'm gonna vote for the guy who's, and like, that's what ends up happening. Like, shit is crazy.
Yep.
But yeah, like, it was a really crazy movie. Like, it really made you see, the music was incredible. So I guess it was his daughter. Shout out to DJ Nick for the crazy fact.
Oh, really?
But it was his daughter who did the score. So the spooky music and everything, that was his daughter that did that.
Oh.
So, shout out to her. And she used a pseudonym, so she could stand on her own merits. But she did a damn good job. But the other situation was kind of at the beginning with Pyle, and Archero caught up on it. Same thing with him and Pyle also being the most savage person punishing him.
Yeah.
Right? Like, he, and he went out and did that. And then Pyle was also interesting because initially Pyle looked kind of like the most innocent person there, due to his childlikeness, right? Like, the way that he was. You kind of felt sorry for him. He was a little bit slow.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And so, like, he had this innocence about him. But then when that moment happened and he felt he had no advocates anymore, then he actually turned into a Marine, which was actually bad for him. It's turning into a Marine that actually, and it was crazy watching Pyle, because he reminded me of my brother.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because, my brother was always the baby. He was a baby in the family, and I was kind of like, what's his face? Because me and my little brother didn't get along when we were younger, because he was my mother's favorite and blah 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 blah. But I'd always look out for him. I wouldn't, I wouldn't let nobody fuck with him. You know what I mean? But like, it was kind of like that kind of relation. Like, come on, man, type of thing. And like, he was always like too. That would be the thing, because he ended up being 6'2", 6'3". He was always big for his age, but he was so gentle. Like, he would never, so we'd be playing basketball and shit. He'd have these clear advantages, but he didn't have that inside of him. He's like a Bernie Sanders type person. And the crazy thing is that he also went to the Corps, and that's what killed him. Was like getting transformed into that kind of person. And then seeing the shit that he had to see, it was ironic, because I'm like, yo, like, that's my little brother. Because he treated him like a little brother, And my little brother, like, he wasn't like Pyle in the sense of, like, he was smart. I mean, he was in my family, obviously, he's smart. But it wasn't that. It was just, he was just childlike, and he didn't know how to throw his weight around. He didn't understand, like, how physically imposing he was. Until, and his dad was a Marine, so, that was crazy, like, watching them graduate. Because I remember that I hadn't seen him for a while. And it was cool. I was like, it was just cool seeing him disciplined like that, and the focus and the determination. Like, he was I got a couple pictures of him. I'll probably put that up as the. Yeah, yeah. Some people are too. Some people are too good for the core, man. You know what I'm saying? But you can't really find it out till. And it was crazy too, because Powell was doing really good, you know, when he got turned into that, you know, like for their little culture, he was doing good. But that thing that he lost, like he couldn't get it back after that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that shit is crazy. Yeah, if I had to go back, I would have told, because my mama's the only one who told him not to go. If I had to do it back over again, I'd have been like, go to the Air Force, man. Yeah, but he's trying to, he's trying to prove himself as a man or whatever. That's too much for his heart, though. I don't know. So it's, we'd always talk, all these people on YouTube that are like so thirsty for us to go to war with people all the time. And like, he's like, these fucking people, he's like, these guys, sometimes I flip out on them, like so nonchalant about war, and they've never.
Yeah.
It's like one of these people, I'm like, you couldn't even walk down my fucking neighborhood, dude, much less war. You know what I mean? Like, it's all these people that never paid any prices that are so nonchalant about that shit. I understand at some points war is inevitable, but it's not always inevitable. And yeah, I don't know.
It seems like
yeah, go ahead.
It seems like that there may be things that are worth fighting for, but stuff is not something. Like, if it's human beings are dying, and if we don't fight more human beings, you see what I'm saying? Like, when it's to save human lives, but
we're not even at a point now where we have to fight to save human lives, unless it's an ISIS.
That's what I'm saying. I don't think
unless it's an ISIS type situation. I mean, let's see what Trump does with the whole cartel discussion. We could seriously harm the cartels. Like, we could really hurt them, and we wouldn't have to dedicate a lot of resources to it either. But yeah, I mean, like the cartel, something like that, I feel like that's righteous. Like they've, like dude said, like there's been 148,000 people killed because of fentanyl that's coming through, the border. So, like, to me, like, obviously, I don't think it's appropriate for a Christian to ever advocate killing or war. But if you're gonna, that to me is a more palatable use of the American sword than the shit that we're doing in all over the world as we speak right now. Yeah. And those are people that us killing them would really do something. Like us killing the cartel, us hurting certain people and certain assets of cartel could really set them back 20 years. And they're a finance-based operation. They're not an ideological operation like, over there in Afghanistan. This is a financial type situation. And so yeah, that makes sense to me. But like all this other shit that we're doing, like that has no interest, that has no direct U.S. interest, and we're just doing it because we want to antagonize a country that has a GDP of fucking California. Like it's just not worth it to me. Because like other people are just hearing a nice story and propaganda. I'm thinking about kids my brother's age.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like.
Yeah.
He died at fucking 36 years old, man. Like, yeah, that shit's crazy to me. But it was a good movie. It was a disturbing movie, but I'm glad. Like, it's really interesting when I compare this and Black Hawk Down. Like, you could see clearly now that I'm on the other side of a lot of this shit, I'm like, oh shit, okay. So this was not a propaganda movie. Black Hawk Down was Black Hawk Down wasn't a propaganda movie. Black Hawk Down was a recruiting movie. It's like beyond, you know. This to me was like, okay, like this is how you make a war movie that doesn't glamorize war. You know. There's ways to really glamorize shit. There's bad decisions that you have to make that just got completely, like in modern war movies, like that gets completely like, unless it's like an independent movie or something like that, you know, but the real moral issues that come about, particularly in the regions that we were in theater, is I don't think there'll never be a movie about that. There'll never be a movie about those. So, good movie. It's good. I mean, war is hell, man. So any movie that does that is good in my book. Definitely see why it's a classic. I wonder how many of those incidents actually happened.
Yeah, I was wondering the same thing.
'Cause
Like, how much was based off of like true events and.
Yeah, I could definitely like. You know, see that happening, because I mean, I remember going down there. I'm rambling now. I'll get out of the review pretty quick, but I remember. Go ahead. What were you gonna say?
No, I was just refreshing to see how many likes we have because we were. I was wondering, we don't have it at 6.
Stuck at 6.
Yeah. So.
Oh, stuck at 6. Look at that. It's the exact same thing I did. I remember going down there for my brother's graduation, and those dudes were like legitimately brainwashed. Like they were legitimately like machines. Like I remember I had to tell my brother like to get out of the car. We were at the pizza shop, and I had to tell him to get out of the car, and then I had to tell him to get Isaiah because we had to. You know, it was his baby. I'm like, yo, you get the baby. And he was extremely robotic. I'm like, what the hell, man? And like all of his whole crew was like that. So like we're stacking up, we're putting all the kids and everything into the car, because at the time it was Dorian and Zoe. And then Isaiah. And then so we're filling, we had the clown car or whatever. And then one of his boys, like 2 minutes before, I'd be like, all right, boom, what's your MOS? And he just looked at me, and I'm like, hey, yo, what's your MOS? And my brother said something to him, and he looked up at me, and he goes, I kill people. And I said, that's cool, bro. That's great. That's great. You go ahead and be great. So I took the kids, and then, like, I'm packing everybody up. He's like, hey, can I hop a ride? And I said, hell no, nigga, you can't hop a ride. Nigga, you just told me, man, we out of here. I've never seen that like that before. Like, I've been in, you know, whatever. I've been through, you know, I think pretty difficult selections with stuff, but like, it was completely different. It was like, we want you to think, we want you to be a thinking agent. You know, we want, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, we don't want, you know, so like, for me, I was just like mind boggled, like, I couldn't believe it. I thought they were like acting, but they really weren't acting. It took Jamie a good week and a half when he finally got back. I remember driving him off. He's like, he was looking back. He's like, am I off the island? Like, he really said, like, Paris Island. Like, he's like, am I off the island? I'm like, yeah. And he just like, yeah, he was really.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I almost had to handhold him through the airport, all type of shit. So yeah, that was cool. That was
wow,
it was pretty weird.
Wild.
Yeah, but yeah, so it was a really cool movie. I didn't know this at the time, but there's always like media like all around Paris Island trying to catch the instructors being abusive and shit.
Oh.
So like when we were there, they had this whole little drill for the media thing, and I was like, yo, that's crazy to me. Like, you're out here trying to train, and then here's the media trying to like catch you like smacking someone. I'm like, I don't know, man. Like, I don't know if people understand what an expeditionary unit is. I don't know if people understand like what the Marines' job is.
Yeah,
but
I'm not like.
If you don't like the training, then
you need to change American foreign policy.
Yeah,
exactly. Exactly.
Right? Like,
yeah.
But as long as we have our American foreign policy this way, I'm sorry, man, but them dudes, it's got to be different. Mm-hmm. You know, and it's really interesting because, like, you really can't do... Them and the Rangers are the only one you could really fuck up like that, because they're the only ones in that age range that are, I mean, because them and the, like, if you want to go to war, like, as soon as possible, it's Marine Corps Rangers, right? So, it's that kind of treatment is the only, because they're not at, like, professional level, like, you know, they're not operating. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just, you know, like we got 375. You know, like I'm not saying they're not intelligent. I'm just saying, like, you go from, you know, sneakers to boots and boom. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah. So
you can only do that to that type of person. You can't do that in the Army. You can't, you know. So,
Jesus, that's.
I mean, it's you got to respect it. I respect it as far as, like, their ability to turn regular people into something completely different. But
that's wild, yeah.
The movie basically shows that shit comes at a cost. So them dudes are paying a price, you know.
Yep.
And, like, none of them would pay the price if they knew the price. But you can only know the price by experience, and that's the rub with young men. You know, they always want to go to war. So. Not all men. My little brother didn't want to go to war. He was just trying to, I don't know, prove himself or live up to something or something. And you know what? He did a damn good job. As far as doing the job, it was the cost of the job that got him, I think. He would always say, like, he wished he was back, you know. But, like, the shit that he did when he was out, like, he wouldn't be able to go back. And he wouldn't be able to go back to doing what he was doing. He liked the, it's not that he liked it. He needed the regiment. He needed the regimentation, I think, in his life. You know, once that started coming to a close, that came to a close as my mother died. And that was just
good timing.
That was just too much for him. He didn't have enough support around him, obviously. So, rest in peace to him. But yeah, man, it's a good movie. I'm gonna give this movie a 9.7. 9.7. Definitely a classic movie.
Yeah, you could definitely see that's a classic, and I think that the way that they did it, like, it definitely just made you think about some other angles and, you know, the dilemmas that they found themselves in. So yeah, I definitely think I would give it a 9.5. What'd you give it?
9.7.
Oh, it's 9.7. Okay, 9.5. What did I give it? No, I just
gave it a 9.5.
Did I say 9.5 or did I say 9.4? I think I said 9.5.
DJ Nick in the house. DJ
Director.
Nick. Director Nick. Yes, dear listener. If you, dear listener, would like a movie night for yourself, reach out to this girl right here. What is it?
But I don't say that. That's the secret email.
Well, how do the people get in contact with you?
Well,
I used to tell them to email me a Vince story, but
yeah, they
can.
That. What?
My email is overloaded. I got to get more memory or whatever for it.
Okay, well, you need to do that post haste.
Okay.
And then you can reach out to me on Patreon. You can, you can reach out to me on
Patreon. We have free sign-ups, free membership on Patreon. There's a free section. So
there is a free section. I just don't know if they can message me if they jump on the free tier. But if you jump on the $1 tier, I mean, and you jump on for 1 month, we can take that $1 off of your. You know what I mean? Like, we can work it out.
Yeah. It's just because I gotta fix my email. You
can get on Patreon and see some of the stuff for free, but not everything is free on there. And I don't think that, I don't think you'll be able to message me. You might be able to. I don't know. I just haven't gotten any messages from anybody.
Dwayne has my number, so.
So they reach out to Dwayne?
I'm just saying for now, yeah, reach out to if you want a movie. I don't think we're gonna have like 1 million people coming out for movies, but yeah, we got some movies coming down the pike for you guys. I'm gonna figure out our picture-in-picture live thingamajiggy, because I'm pretty sure I would have been able to stream the Logan Paul Mike Tyson fight. I would have been able to if I could figure it out on this program. Definitely been able to do it, show it on Twitter. So there you go. If anyone is considering movies, I've always saw blues. We could do like a crowd. There should be like a crowdfunding spot somewhere on. I always say this, like, oh, I got to meet with the alliance. Blah 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 blah. Archero, do you have my phone number? Archero, somebody, Archero or Dwayne, one of y'all has my phone number. Send me a text. Alliance meetings will be a lot more frequent if you just call me on my phone. That's you guys. Don't worry about it.
There you have it.
Yeah, Archero, message me. And let's work on that ASAP, por favor.
Well, shout out to DJ Nick, or
yes.
Director Nick, who made this night possible.
Director freaking Nick. Good.
Yeah, we've got more stuff coming on. You can go on Patreon, and there is. I made the post public.
It's looking like the month of Nick over here. I'm taking a sneak peek at Nick's board here. So there's only a couple people that have a dedicated board on.
Couple people do.
Trello.
Yep. Anyway, guys, thanks for coming through.
Good choice for a watch along. Very deep movie. Yes. And thank you guys for hearing my rambles. I didn't know the movie was gonna hit me like that. I had seen like the first half when I was a kid, and I didn't see the second half.
Do you check that other email, Vin and Sorry 2? Isn't that an email?
Yeah. No, I don't really check that email.
Oh, okay. Well, forget about it.
I'm just gonna go and buy more tonight. It's whatever. Or maybe I can get them to delete the duplicate emails. Anyway, guys. Much love to all you beautiful people. Nick, this was a badass selection, my man. Hey, all you rumblers, like, share, comment, subscribe. If you liked what you see, peruse around a little bit. I know Rumble likes to do some political commentary as well. You should check it out.
Guys, don't forget to check out the shorts on our YouTube channel, too. There's some fun stuff in there.
Very fun stuff. Vin out.
Sorry, out.